Yo, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Sorry about the late start. I was having a couple technical difficulties over here, but back in action, man. Let's get it. What's good, Jaden, Ken, Steadfast, Michael, Sherman, Jackson, John, Jimmy, Uno, Nine, Nod, Jeremy, Ivory, consistent investor, consistent growth, continuous growth. A lot of continuous and consistent. I love to see it. Brian, Sador, Alexis, Scapegoat. Woo! What's good, everybody? Happy Sunday. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. It was a great weekend for sure. Outside of the fact I was in the hospital, it was a great weekend, man. I love those extended weekends. Much needed, especially after the action that we've seen recently. Jesus. But yeah, man. Let's get it. We got a big night ahead of us. So let's get right into it, man. We've got a big week ahead of us. Even though it is a short trading week, I think there still will be a lot of value this week for us. So let's get it. Very, very stoked. Let me go ahead and fix that. Fix that. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. Let's get it. Before we get started here, can everybody see clear? Everybody hear clear? Everybody's good to go? Hope so. Hope everybody's good. Hope everybody's good to go. I might be able to catch a trade here, actually. If I'm being honest with you. I might be able to catch a trade here, y'all. Catch a nice trade we can hold throughout the live. Let's go. I am all for it. Give me 1 second. My mom cannot find the monitor. Uh-oh, she cannot find the monitor for the little one. That's not good. Give me 1 second, y'all. I gotta get this sorted real quick. I'm watching NQ as well, so hopefully we can catch an entry here. That would be ideal. It's a nice little failure here. Nice little failure here. Got that 4-hour bearish engulfing. Hourly just flipped red. 30-minute flipped red. 15 massive bearish engulfing. This looks really, really, really good, man. Really good. If we can catch an entry here, I am all for it. I'm all for it. This is something we can enter and just hold. Fortunately, nothing's working here, though. Give me 1 second, you guys. I don't know what the fuck's up with my internet. I can't see anything. All my screens are black. Can't find the monitor at home. They're trying to stop us tonight, y'all. They're trying to stop us. Give me 1 second. They're trying to hold us back. They won't let us be great, y'all. They won't let us be great. They won't let us be great, man. Let us be fucking great. Let us be fucking great, please. Let us be fucking great. Let us be fucking great. They won't let us be great. Bro, this is some bullshit. I still can't see my screen. I'm trying to reset my router right now. I disconnected. I'm using Wi-Fi instead of Ethernet. Give me 1 second. I can't see shit. I'm looking at the YouTube chat from my phone. Bruh. Why right now? Like, why right now? Like, why is all this shit gotta happen right now? Help me understand. That was a massive rejection on NQ, by the way. I cannot see shit, bro. I really hope I don't have to restart. That'd be pretty messed up. I don't have to restart this thing. Nope, boom. We're good, we're back. Alright. Boom. Alright, can you guys see? Everybody can see clear? Everybody can hear clear? Everybody's good to go? Bada bing, bada boom. We are back. Back. Can you guys see? Can you guys hear? That's the most important. Everybody's good to go? 1 if you are, 2 if you aren't. 1 if you are, 2 if you aren't. Let's get a little head count, make sure everybody's good to go here. Is everybody good? Everybody's good, everybody's good, everybody's good. Perfect. Let's get it. Perfect and perfect. Let's get this thing rocking, man. Let's get this thing rocking. I gotta go ahead and fix that again. Man, all this shit's fucked up. All of this shit is fucked up. Bruh. I swear, when you don't want anything to go wrong, everything goes wrong. Everything goes wrong. Bro, come on, man. Just let me live, please. Let me live. Super sorry about tonight, guys. This is very fucked up start, to be honest with you. All right, boom. We should be good now. Should be good. All right, let's get right into it, man. We wasted enough time. We'll get into this NQ trade in a minute. I'm not gonna sweat that right now because we are running behind. So I'm gonna get straight into the nitty gritty tonight. Welcome everybody. Welcome. First things first. Hope you guys had a great 3-day weekend. As always, let's get into the economic calendar here, and then we'll get into the watch list for the week ahead. First things first. Obviously, you guys know that Monday market was closed today. Tuesday, kicking it off May 27th. That's gonna be the first official day of this trading week. Nothing too crazy here, right? Nothing too crazy. We have durable good orders, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then consumer confidence at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Decent data points, but nothing, ground shaking. Wednesday, May 28th, we have a couple Fed speakers, FOMC minutes. That's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, I do want to point out, this is not regular FOMC. This is FOMC minutes, okay? Totally different. Tomatoes to apples, right? They're two different, right? FOMC, you have the statement, and then you have Jay Powell's speech versus FOMC minutes, which is just a closed-door statement released, not anywhere near as significant as FOMC is, okay? So keep that in mind. Nothing to stress over. It's not make or break or anything like that. But obviously, it is important, so we will keep an eye on it throughout this trading week. Now, Thursday, big day. This is where the fun begins. Thursday, May 29th, we have our usual jobless claims at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, along with GDP, and then pending home sales at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Friday, lastly here, we have consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before that, we have PCE at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just a quick recap. Tuesday here, fairly decent day. May 27th, durable good orders, consumer confidence. Wednesday, May 28th, FOMC minutes. Thursday, probably the biggest day of the week, May 29th, jobless claims, GDP, pending home sales. Friday, we have PCE and consumer sentiment. And that is what we got to look forward to this week in terms of economic data. Now, we are running behind, right? That's very clear. Had quite a few technical difficulties this morning. But let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. First things first is let's dive into NQ. NQ. Monthly chart. Here we are. Now, we looked at this chart last week. Not much has changed, obviously, because we have been trading in a fairly decent range, right? So from a monthly chart, I mean, there's not really too much to digest here, right? We have the open, we have the close. Now, obviously, how we close throughout May is going to be very important, right? My judge is actually going to be this structure. And that structure, I'm going to show you on a lower time frame, its significance. So if you get down to the weekly here, you're going to notice that that's the gap in between and the top of that supply. Now, on the weekly chart here, we've made quite the move, right? We're up, 30% in a matter of 35 trading days. So if you guys paid attention, right, we made a 26% move down in the market and then immediately a 30% move back up. And all of that was done within a 2-month, 3-month period, right? The markets moved collectively, NQ specifically, over 60% in 2 trading months. That is absolutely insane, right? That is absolutely insane. For anybody who doesn't understand, go back and look at the charts, right? Just do what I did on multiple time frames, specifically these higher time frames, monthly, weekly, and see how many times we've done that previously. It does not happen often in that fashion. So with that being said, it's really hard to kind of gauge what's going on because what is normal is no longer normal, right? Never in my life did I would think I would see a 15% move up or down on any indice within one trading day, right? Without hitting a circuit breaker. A circuit breaker is when the market moves a significant amount in one direction, 7, 9, 13% within a short period of time. Now, right here, right, a circuit breaker almost was triggered, right? If we would have traded down here for another 30 seconds, we would have had a circuit breaker. We literally bounced off the circuit breaker level and then closed up 15% on the day. So when it comes to me saying, hey, do I know what's going on? I really don't know what the fuck's going on, right? I don't think anybody does. This market has been absolutely insane in 2025, right? There's shit that we haven't seen since the early 80s. And obviously, I was still swimming in my pop sack in the 80s, right? I wouldn't even thought of then, so I don't know what the fuck's going on, right? So I feel like our best approach to these charts is just taking it day by day, obviously buying the dips long term, and staying out of the way, man. You know what I mean? There's too many headlines flying around to swing confidently. It's too volatile, right? It's too volatile. But what I really want to talk about is this daily chart, right? Now, we all knew, right? This was a bear market, right? That's the bear market. But if you pay attention now, this chart has shifted tremendously, right? We have a low, we have a higher low, we have a higher low. We broke that structure, made a high, and now we have multiple higher lows. This is now a very bullish chart, right? And if you look at this chart right now, what are we doing? We're just forming a beautiful bull flag, or you can call it a cup and handle, whatever you want, right? But this is bullish, right? This is bullish. Now, taking this information to a lower time frame, like the hourly or 4-hour, it kind of shifts a lot, right? And the reason it shifts a lot is because of the context around it, right? So when you look at those higher time frames, yes, they are very bullish. But when you get down to these lower time frames, you're starting to notice a flip, right? A flip. Now, the reason I say that is because, one, where we rejected, right? Look at where we rejected. We rejected this major supply, right? So that the context for a reversal, or at least a pullback, is there, right? We reject this macro supply. Now, again, going further, go down here to the hourly. This is last week's action, right? Last week, Monday, market open, right here, okay? So this is last week's action. We popped back into the supply, major rejection, held that demand, kind of chopped around, broke down, closed below this demand, right? Now Sunday, 6 p.m., right, Eastern Standard Time, market opened right around here, okay? This is important for a few reasons. Market opened a little bit around here. Trump tweeted, say, hey, 50% tariff. Market rocketed, right? So this move that we're seeing right here is purely based off of that news, right? Now, again, if you notice where we pushed off of that news, we're just back into supply. So all in all, right, there's you can't have much confidence in anything here, right? You can see we're kind of back in this range now. There's just not much going on. And that's where you revert to those higher time frames. So in my opinion, right, looking at this chart, my game plan is going to be fairly simple, right? My game plan is going to be fairly simple. Major level here, 21,190, 21,200, essentially right where we are trading. What I want to see, 21,190, 21,335. These are essentially my parameters going into this week's session. If we get back above 21,335, that will then be my trigger to say, hey, okay, I can watch for that next dip and look to go long back into these highs at 21,560. Now, downside, right? You guys can see there's a very clear demand down here. Not only is it a clear demand, but that is also that daily 200 MA. So if you go to this daily chart here, you're going to see that we bounced off of that daily 200 MA to the T. What also happens to be that big hourly structure I just spoke about. So now we're kind of just trading within this massive supply and demand. This is where things become tricky, right? This is where things become very, 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 very tricky. So how would I approach this? Like I said, I'm trading what the chart is giving me. Major demand, 21,700. Major supply, 21,500. That's essentially our line in the sand levels, right? But is there value in between there? Yes, there will be, right? 21,335, 22,190. And these are immediate levels, right? These levels are in play, like as of right now. So with that being said, right? With that being said, I don't know how I fix this. Let me see. There we go. With that being said, right? If we get that break and hold below 21,190 right now, this is a short that I'm willing to take. It is very likely that we trade back down to this 21,100, potentially even back down to this trend line here, or even that 2,700. Okay? Upside, like I said, 21,335. That is what I'm watching to go long back into 21,500. And again, these are setups that I'm watching right now, right? If you look at NQ here, what did we do just now, right? Market open, caught a nice little pop, lower high, and we just broke that support, right? That was a very weak push. So our job now is if we can get below that 21,190 and hold below it, look at what's down here. There's nothing, right? Last time we traded in this area was a very smooth move. It's very likely we're going to mimic that move in the opposite direction. So like I said, this is where the opportunity is, right? This is where the opportunity is. We failed this. This is a setup I'm watching right at the moment. 21,200, get back below the 21,190. That's a short opportunity, right? That's a short opportunity. If you want to be long, you wait for the reclaim of 21,100, 21,200, excuse me, build above it. That's where you can look for the long. But as of right now, this is geared for lower, right? And that's what I'm watching kind of right now at this moment. I'm watching it on my other screen. So if we get the opportunity, I will take it, right? I will take it. But yeah, it's just a tricky chart, right? It's just a tricky chart. We have this high, we have this low, and we're trading in the middle of it. So it's kind of a tricky chart, but those levels do look very good, right? They do. They look very good. Specifically, this setup right now, this looks very good. ES. Again, it's a tricky chart, right? It's a tricky chart. Here we are now, pretty much 24% from our daily lows, less than 4% from all-time highs. Weekly chart, it's this can turn into two things, right? This weekly chart can turn into a breakout, or this weekly chart can turn into a failure. This weekly pattern here, I don't know if there's a specific name for it, but in my experience, it's a toss-up, right? It's a toss-up. So with that being said, looking at this daily chart, there's a few things that we can go off of, right? You can decipher this as a bull flag, which, you know, the context is there, right? We're coming off that demand. We have that low, higher low, higher low, higher low. This could be another higher low. We have been making those higher highs. We broke that structure. So that could be the rip back into all-time highs. It's a bullish chart, right? Without doubt. Now, where the struggle comes into play from saying, hey, okay, we are very, very bullish, is this hourly chart, right? If you look at this hourly chart, it's not what you want to see if you're a bull, right? Why? You have the starting point, connecting point. We broke down. Not only did we break down, we retested it as resistance. Not only did we retest that trend line support turn resistance, but look what else we retested. We retested that supply, right? So if you're a bull on ES or SPY, this is not what you want to see, right? We just rejected that supply. We just rejected that 5,900 level. We just rejected that daily 200 MA, right? That's not what you want to see if you're bullish, right? That's not what you want to see if you're bullish, right? Yes, sure, we did hold demand, but now we're just pinned below this supply. So again, it's kind of like we're just trading in the range. So ES here, it's going to be very simple, right? It's going to be very simple. First things first, major level, 5890, 5900, daily 200 MA, this massive structure. 5870, very simple. You want to be long on this name? ES, SPY, we need to be back above 5,900. We get above 5,900, that's where you can confidently look to go long, back into 5,950, potentially even that 6,000 level again. If you want to be short here, right? You want to be short here. We need to be below 5870. If we can get below 5870, that's where you can look for a short down into 5840. 5840 is a big demand here. We lose at 5840, that's where we likely trade lower down to 5700, 5800, 5750. Very simple, right? It's not a chart I love. I'm not super eager to trade NQ at all. I'm not super eager to trade ES, excuse me. This is not a chart I love. I love that level, right? I love this 5,900 level. I love that daily 200 MA, but I don't like where we're trading now, right? This can be deciphered as a nice little rally base, and we all know what's going to come from it, right? We're either going to get that rally base drop, or we're going to get that rally base rally. You don't want to trade in the middle of the range, right? You want to wait for that range to break. Fairly simple. YM, very similar, right? If you look at these charts, yes, they could be a bull flag, right? We'll dive back to NQ here. This could be a bull flag, right? We can argue this is a bull flag because of the context, right? This could be a bull flag. But we could also fail that previous day's high, and this could turn into a reversal. So we're just at an area right now where it's do or die, right? It's do or die. This is the do or die area. ES, 5,900, daily 200 MA. This is the do or die area. This is where we continue higher or we get the pullback, right? It's that simple. And that's the same thing on YM. If you look at YM here, it's fairly simple, right? And again, that's where you revert back to context, right? Weekly chart, very strong, right? ES, weekly chart, very strong. YM, weekly chart, very strong. Very strong. Got it. So that's when you revert back to that higher time frame. But again, you got to be aligned, right? And right now, these charts aren't aligned in terms of multiple time frames and confluence. We have conflict here on the hourly, which makes it a little bit more difficult to trade because these are shorter term setups. Just like if you went down to the 5-minute and it was something different, right? It's the same approach. But RTY, I know a lot of you guys like to trade this almighty level here. This is actually a very clean chart, to be honest with you. A lot cleaner than I expected. I haven't looked at this in a minute, but very simple here, right? If you trade RTY, IWM, this is probably the cleanest chart out of all four of them, right? If you're looking for shorts, watch this 2075, 2080, right? That is that macro supply. You could watch for a short there. Downside continuation, we get below 2060, that would be your trigger to go short, right? If you want to be a long buyer here, wait for the break and hold above 2080, right? So I would say levels are cleanest here on RTY, right? Levels are cleanest here. You got the demand, 2060, supply, 2080. So it's very simple, right? We lose that demand, you know what to do. We break that supply, you know what to do, right? And there's plenty of room to run on both ends. So, I mean, I would say this is probably the cleanest chart. That is probably the cleanest chart for sure. That is definitely probably the cleanest chart. I like that a lot, actually. That looks good. That does look very good. What else we got here? Silver. I mean, just look at this daily chart. It's a kind of a clusterfuck. I've never been a fan of trading silver, but if you are a fan of trading it, I mean, very simple. Level here at 34, level here at 32. I mean, look at what it's done in between. It's done a whole lot of nothing, so I would just wait for a break in either direction. Now, something I am interested in trading is gold. I love trading gold. Right now, quick analysis on gold. Major supply, 36, excuse me, 33.75. Major demand here, 33.20. These are kind of my parameters this week for gold. If we can get above 33.75 on gold, I will be very happy to go long on this name, targeting that 3400, 34.20. If we break this uptrend here on gold, get back below 33.22, that would then be the trigger to say, hey, okay, I'm comfortable shorting gold back down to this 32.70, 32.50 area. And we could even look for a demand bounce down here if we showed strength. And that would be the game plan there on gold. Very simple. Very, very simple. Now, let's get into QQQ and SPY. I don't want to cover too much here. You guys know why. It's because, obviously, there's a significant move. Oh, my God. Don't tell me. Ah, fuck, man. Bro, these lives cost me so much money, it's not even funny. That was the easiest setup we could have probably caught, which I'm hoping some of you guys hopefully caught it. Because I know I damn sure didn't. Damn it, man. Ah. It's all good. SPY, here we go. Look at this weekly chart on SPY, right? Totally different picture than, yeah, I'm not going to stress it. You know, it is what it is. We'll catch something tomorrow or later. Just rejected the supply on SPY. We actually closed last week's session a bearish engulfing on SPY with rising volume. So if you're looking at this SPY chart, it's totally different than ES, right? If you go look at the daily on SPY, we're really starting to roll over, right? We're really starting to roll over. If you look at the SPY chart, it actually looks a lot more bearish than NQ does, obviously, right? We broke this uptrend. We're holding below it. Got the high, lower high, broke that structure. So, I mean, this is tough, right? Like, if you look at SPY, you know, almighty level here is 568, 570, but this chart is tricky, right? This chart is tricky for sure. The market's made a pretty significant move overnight, so I'm not going to cover SPY and QQQ too much. We'll cover them on Zoom tomorrow. Yeah, and the reason for that is I'm trying to find the live trading link. I just pinned it at the top. There you go. If you want to live trade, I'll cover SPY and QQQ tomorrow. The reason I'm not going to cover it right now is because obviously they're not going to be in the same areas as tomorrow. But yeah, these charts are beautiful, right? This 512 level on Qs, 502 level on Qs, and then this massive demand. I mean, that's pretty much the game plan, right? Watch this 512 for a failure to go short. Watch that break and hold below 502 for the short on the gap fill. Down into this demand, we can watch for a demand bounce. Or if we do get strong, watch that reclaim of 512 for that squeeze into 520. Right, that's pretty much the game plan there. I'll do a quick little analysis on these, but I'll update them tomorrow. SPY, 573.50, 582, right? Those are kind of our parameters. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Nothing else to really cover there. Wow, man, that trade on NQ was nasty. The trade on NQ was nasty. Was anybody able to catch that? That was nasty. Yeah, I'm watching on my other screens now, but I turned it off for a second. And that's when we got that move. I'm going to check back on it right now. We're about to cover these individual names in a second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to take a drink of water. All right, cool. Let's get it. Apex, yeah, they have a 90% off right now. I'm gonna give away 10 accounts as well. Yeah, it's for anything. The 10 accounts is if you win, you can literally pick anything you want. If you wanted 25k, you can get 25k. You wanted 300k, you get a 300k. It doesn't matter. That was a big move on NQ actually. That was a big rejection. It's almost a 60, 70 point move. Pretty nasty. All right, let's get into these individual names. First things first here, got AMD. AMD's finally start to show signs of life here. Bounced off that macro demand. Started to see nice strength throughout last week's session. Side note, talk about a fucking dip buy. We killed this one. 83 is our average. That's where I picked up AMD. Picked up AMD right here. We got a killer dip buy on AMD. That was great. Anyway, AMD here. First thing on AMD I'm watching is this 105, 106 demand. 2 is this 111 supply. Okay, this is to watch on AMD. Pullback 105, 106 for a demand bounce. Or above 112, we could squeeze back into that 116. Above 116, that's where the fun really begins, back into 120. And that's the game plan on AMD. Very short, very sweet. XYZ, formerly known as Square. Got that daily double bottom, daily failure to go lower. Close right back into this supply though, right? You guys can see here, this is clear as day. Major supply here. So, we're going to have to be extra patient, right? This is a trade or a type of a supply that you don't want to fuck around and find out with, right? We got to be patient. But I can guarantee one thing. If Square gets above this 60 level and actually holds, boy, oh boy, oh boy. This has 70, 80 potential, right? So all eyes on Square, or XYZ, excuse me. If we get above that 60, let it break, let it hold, buy the dip, and hang on tight. This has parabolic potential back into 70, 80. This looks very good. All right. Next we have Tesla. Tesla. Tesla, very nice chart here. Weekly perspective, very strong. Daily, very strong. My focus on Tesla is this rally base, okay? Now, I want to show you two things, right? One, previous rally base, for anybody that doesn't know what it looks like, right? You have the rally, then you have the base. This would be called a rally base rally because we continued. A reversal would be a rally base drop. Okay, so here we are now with the same exact setup. Rally. Now we have that base. Okay, what I'm watching for here on Tesla is the rally base rally. A break and hold above 355 would trigger that, and that's where we can go long into 365, 380. The rally base drop, I'm watching a break and hold below 325. We can look for that short down to 310 and 300s. That is the game plan on Tesla. Very simple, very clean, very clear. Amazon. Next. This isn't on my watch list, but I do want to cover it for two reasons. One, Amazon just rejected a major macro weekly supply. You guys can see this is huge, right? Look at the daily. Look at the significance of this level. This is huge. Amazon's in trouble, okay? Now, what I really want to talk about is two things. Major demand here, 193.50, and then this 200 level, okay? What I want to watch is if we get below 200, I do think that's going to be a nice move lower into that demand. And then we can determine whether or not we want to pick up that demand bounce at 193, 195 if we show strength down there. Now, scenario number two is if we hold this 200 and start to build above it, that's a good long entry, potentially even swing entry. And if we can break out, get back above 207, Amazon's back into these 216s, 220s quick. So main watch here on Amazon is that 200 level and then that demand. That's where we're going to be able to judge and see what we want to do with Amazon. Lastly here, NVIDIA. It's a chart I absolutely love. I think Nvidia has bitten off a little bit more than it can chew in the short term, but I'm not bearish on it, right? I'm not bearish on Nvidia by any means. What I want to focus on Nvidia, right? I want to focus on two things. One, macro demand here, 123. Two, macro supply here, 137. If Nvidia, these are kind of like more midterm type setups on Nvidia. Daily 200 MA is sitting at 125. So if Nvidia can pull back into this 125, 123 area, this is where I'm going to look to pick up a swing and a demand bounce on Nvidia at 123, 125. If Nvidia can get back above that 137, that's where I'll be confident picking up that long for continuation into 142, ultimately targeting that 149. And that's kind of the game plan there, right? So week ahead, just a quick summary. I mean, I say it's a toss-up, right? You guys are looking at these same charts I am, right? Like, it's a toss-up, you know what I mean? Like if you look at this chart from a weekly perspective, sure, you can digest this move as strong, right? But then if you really take a good look at this weekly chart, it looks like we're forming a head and shoulders, right? We have that left shoulder, we have that head, and we're now testing that left shoulder supply, and we're sitting in the right shoulder. So it's a lot of conflict going on here, right? Like, sure, I want to be bullish, but when you understand market mechanics and market structure, making a 30% move in little over a single trading month, it's hard to trust that, right? Like, it's hard to trust. It's, you know, I would say short term we see lower. Obviously, mid to long term, we're going higher, right? There's no question about that, right? There's no question about that. But I do think short term we're in trouble, right? I do think we're in trouble. I said why here on the hourly, which is very clear, which we're seeing right now, that downside. I mean, that's my take, right? I would say we see lower before higher. That's my personal opinion. Is it time to, you know, swing puts? Possibly, right? But I feel like this closure on today's candle is going to be important, right? That's going to determine whether this bull flag becomes valid or invalid, right? It's that simple. ES, same thing, right? Like, I don't care who you are, right? If you look at this ES chart from an hourly perspective, you can't be bullish here, right? You can't. We're rejecting that 5,900 level. We're rejecting that daily 200 MA. Who in their right mind is going to be long right here, right? Nobody, right? Nobody's sitting here saying, I'm going to long SPY, I'm going to long ES. No one's saying that, right? Like, it's, if you look at this chart from a hourly perspective, right? High, lower high. Structure, swept it. Lower high, structure, swept it. We're now failing that lower high, right? So this is not a chart you go long on, right? This is not a chart you go long on. Like, I'm not saying that because I'm bearish. I'm not bearish at all. I don't give a fuck what happens, right? I really don't. I don't care if the market goes up. I don't care if the market goes down. I'm positioned net long term, obviously, right? But it's doesn't matter how you look at the chart, right? This right here, this tells me, like, or screams to me and says, hey, we're going to see a nice little pullback, right? Now, if we reclaim here, 5,900, I will be very confident going long, right? But just because, again, you know, doesn't mean we short everything right now. No, it just doesn't look good for longs right now. I'm not saying the market's going to crash. I'm just saying it doesn't look good for longs right this second, right? That's all I'm saying. Like, just look at the chart, right? Like that's my best way to explain it, right? We just rejected this supply, which you can see what happened last time, right? Daily 200, 5,900 level. That's all I'm saying, right? I mean, NQ, same thing, right? Look at what happened. We rejected this supply last time, right? We've seen a significant downside move. Here we are rejecting that same supply. So, I mean, it's, you know, YM, same thing. Look at the chart. We rejected the supply, massive downside. Here we are rejecting that supply again. Very simple, right? All the levels are clear. 42,000 on YM. NQ, 190, right? ES, 5870, right? Levels are clear. If we get below those levels, sure, short can come into play. But as of right now, you know, you just got to be patient. Holy cow, gold. Wow. Now, this is what you want to trade. When gold gets momentum, this is when you want to trade it. This thing fucking moves. Like, this is probably the funnest thing to trade when it has nice momentum. It's volatile, but it's very fun to trade. But like I said, this is the criteria for me to short gold, right? Reject this supply, break this uptrend trendline support. Last checkbox is get below 32.22. We get below 32.22 on gold. That's where I can say, hey, I'm comfortable going short. But, you know, you don't really want to short into this demand. Sure, it looks good, right? Sure, it does look good, right? It does look good, but, you know, that's kind of like beer goggles. You know what I mean? Everything looks good after a couple beers. So don't get fooled. That's all I got to say. Don't get fooled. Do not get fooled, okay? That's all I got to say. Do not get fooled. Let's see what else we got here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. That's pretty much it, to be honest. I mean, we can hang out for a few minutes and see if we can catch a trade. My setup kind of already happened. I wanted that retest of 21,200. That was kind of my top watch. Now I kind of just got to hang out, I guess. We got a bunch of giveaways to do, so let's go ahead and get that crack-a-lackin'. Dom, are you in here? Where you at, cuz? Dom's over in Japan. Shout out to him, man. Dom is getting it done. On a real note, man, I just want to take some accountability for my lack of posting on social media, my lack of being active everywhere. You know, I just been kind of been in my own lane, man, my own head. Just focused in on getting myself together. You know, a lot of you guys know I was in the hospital the other day, and you know, I'm just trying to fill my cup up first. You know, and when I do something, I don't like to do anything other than 110%. You know, so it's like I give it 110% or I don't do it at all. You know, which is probably not the best mindset to have, but you know, I can say this. I'm not gonna say too much, but I will say this: is I will change. I'm going to create an opportunity that's never been done before in under 3 months. Opportunity, value. I'm not going to say much more. I'm working on something that I have been working on for years that is going to come to fruition and be able to be put in play very, very soon. Right? So, I'm excited for it. I need to make sure that one, I'm in the right mindset. Everything is where it needs to be. Everyone is where they need to be. Everyone is doing what they need to do. And yeah, man, you know, it's a process. You know, it's a process. You know, you guys know, like when life starts life and it lifes. You know what I mean? I took a $800,000 loss not too long ago. That doesn't add fuel to the fire. You know, I don't know what does. You know what I mean? You know, when it starts raining, it pours. You know what I mean? But this is times like this, I understand, and a lot of people don't, is times like this when you feel like you're down and out, that's when that diamond just gets brighter and brighter. You know what I mean? That's where those edges get really defined. So, you know, it's time to shine again. You know, there's more crevices, there's more cuts, it looks cleaner. It's, you know, that, you know, pressure, what do they say? Pressure breaks pipes, but pressure forms diamonds. That's just the way it is. You know, everybody goes through hard times. The big thing is, though, man, I'm always honest. I'm always transparent. I don't hide shit from anyone. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, that's the unfortunate thing about being in a position like I am. You know what I mean? Everything that I do is pretty much under a microscope. You know, it does add a lot of pressure, but I like it because it you know, keeps me accountable. It you know, keeps me on the right track. And, you know, I feel like I owe it to you guys to be honest and transparent, and I do my best at that. But yeah, man, there's a lot to look forward to on my end. You know, I've kind of taken a little hiatus for the last month or two, but we'll be back to it, man. We'll be back to it. Anyway, let's get into these giveaways, y'all. We'll knock this out and keep it pushing. Here we go. I owe you guys a cash giveaway. We'll go ahead and do that first, and then we'll get into the Apex accounts. Exclamation point cash. Exclamation point cash. That's all you got to do to enter. Exclamation point cash. Exclamation point cash. Bada bing. Bada boom. All you got to do is type it one time. One time, you are good to go. Alrighty, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. I could talk about it a little bit more, but I don't want to talk about it too much, you know? I can talk about it a little bit more, but not too much. And I mean, when I say I lead, they follow, I really mean it. Just pay attention. Alrighty. Good luck, everybody. Let's get it. 0. 0 is our first winner. 0 is our first winner. Please type in the chat as soon as possible. I'm going to give you the choice. Do you want cash or do you want an Apex account? It's up to you. You let me know. You let me know. Cash or an Apex account? You let me know. You let me know. You let me know. Boom. Good winner there. Do you want cash or an Apex account? You want cash? Cool, cool, cool. Perfect. There we go. Cash, cash, cash. All right, perfect. All right, cash is gone. Let's move forward to the Apex accounts. I'm going to go ahead and reset these. We'll go ahead and give away options. Make the first one Apex. We'll keep it pushing like that. Good luck, everybody. All you got to do is type Apex, exclamation point, Apex, in the chat one time. You'll be good to go. Bam. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, good luck, good luck. I don't... Let me see. I just losing trade. Yeah, it should be good. Should be good on that. Should be good, should be good, should be good, good, good. Wow, that freaking that NQ move was gnarly. Gnarly, gnarly, gnarly. Alrighty, good luck, everybody. T-Logic. I think that's a good winner, man. I've seen him in here a lot. Seen him in here a lot. Let me get this code situated for you. Let me go ahead and get this situated for you. Ba-da-ba-ba. I'm loving it. Alrighty. It's crazy. Please give it to someone else. I'm here to support you and show appreciation. Hey, I mean, that's up to you, man. Are you sure? That's up to you, man. Just go ahead and confirm. You can pick whatever account you want, whether it's 25K or 300K, whatever you want. It's all, you know, whatever you want, man. It's up to you. If you want to give it away, more power to you, man. I'm sure whoever wins it next would appreciate it. So whatever you want to do, you let me know. Let me get some confirmation though. Okay, cool. We'll go ahead and re-roll it. Kong Lee. Kong Lee. Kong Lee. Kong Lee. Kong Lee. Where you at? Kong Lee. I feel like one of the... No, I'm not even going to say what I was going to say. Because then one of you guys are going to do it. You little sneaky fuckers. You guys are sneaky, man. I gotta watch y'all. I gotta watch y'all like a hawk. Kong Lee, where you at? Come on, man. We got to speed this up, y'all. Where y'all at, man? You got 15 seconds, Kong Lee. Where you at? Here, boom. There you go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, we're about to speed run these. It's getting a little bit late. I gotta get back home. All right, boom. Got that. Bam. Let's get this thing rocking. All right, number 2 here. Number two. Let's get it. Let's go ahead and reset that. We'll make this quick and easy. Same code. Exclamation point apex. Regardless, man, I want you guys to understand something. Whether you win or you don't win, right? I appreciate every single one of you guys for showing up. Seriously. That's why I do this. This is why I've done this for over 4 years now. Every single Sunday, or Monday in this case, when the market's closed on Monday. I always do it the night before the market opens. I do this for you guys, right? Holy shit. NQ is falling off a cliff. God damn it. Gosh darn it. Shit. That would have been nice to catch. Dag nabbit. Hopefully one of you guys caught it though, at least. Alrighty, good luck everybody. We got to speed run these. Nicole Incho. Nicole Incho. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? We're gonna do 2 more, and then I'll finish the rest on Zoom this week. We'll run it like that. Perfect. They're here. Let's rock and roll. All right. How many was that? Got 2 more. 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 All right, we're going to speed run this thing, y'all. Lock in. Let's get it. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Here we go. All right. Run that back. Reset entries. Got to throw these bots off. I know there's a lot of bots in here. Keyword is going to be bot. No exclamation. BOT. Let's get it. Good luck, everybody. Let's rock and roll. Good luck, everybody. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. BOT. BOT. Side note. Big Swole, Continuous Growth, Shane, Pascal. I appreciate you guys for really taking care of the live tonight. In terms of the chat wise, I'm going to save a couple of these counts and I'm going to shoot them over to you guys. Or if you want cash, you know, we could do that as well. You know, we'll do that like once a month or something. Help you guys out for helping me out. We'll run it like that. And yeah, man, I appreciate all of you guys. Like I said, I know I've kind of been inactive recently, but we're gonna get back on it, man. You know, I'm the type of person, like I said, I I'm either 100% in or 100% out. You know, it's unfortunate, but we're going to get back to it, man. We're going to get back to it. I wish I could tell you guys what's coming, but you know, there's a lot of eyes and ears watching that would love to know what I'm doing so they could do it, try to do it first. All right, good luck, everybody. Essence Memories. I love it. It's a nice name. Essence Memories. Where you at? 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 NQ looks so good for lower. I can't even lie. Thing is now is just getting that entry. Got to find one somewhere. I tell you that much. Essence Memories. Where you at? Where you at? Oh, whoops. There we go. I think I was muted. All I was saying was action tonight is really clean, right? Really clean. Market opened here. It's pretty straightforward. Once we got below that 21,200, that's pretty much it. What I would watch now, my watch into the morning, is that 21,200. It's fairly simple. I love a short long as we're below it. Long as we're below 21,200, my game plan is going to be watch that retest for a short entry, back down into 21,100, ultimately targeting this 21.55. Get down to this demand, that's where we can look to flip long. If we break that 21.55 or 21.055, there's a lot lower in the cards. So my game plan tonight going into tomorrow, 21.200. We're below it, look for the short in the 21.100, 21.100. If we get above it, we can look for that demand hold back to those highs. That simple. ES, pretty similar, 58.70. And yeah, man, that's that. All right, let's get it, yo. Good luck, everybody. Chris. Is that Chris? If so, I'm giving it to someone else. If so, I'm giving it to someone else. I've noticed when I do these lives on Monday, it's like we get like 1/4 of the people who usually attend. Usually we have about 1,000, 1,200. Tonight we only have literally 1/4, which is 300. On X, I think we have 300, 400, which I don't really care about the viewers, to be honest. I don't get anything from it. It's not like I get money from it. Yeah, we have 300 on X. So shout out to you guys on X, man. Really appreciate you guys. If you didn't already check it out on X, I made a post. I'm going to give away one mentorship spot, and I'm going to give a trading setup along with it. All you got to do is comment 3 different things, which is how long you've been trading, your current struggle, and your goal with trading. That's it. I'll post the link to the post if you haven't, and I'm going to pick that this week, and I'm going to go live on X, and I'll pick the winner there. Here, I think. Is that Chris? Is that the same Chris? Yes or no? Minty Chris or no? If it's Minty Chris, I'm re-rolling it. Watch, he's going to put no. And I'm going to end up finding out it's him because he's got to message Dom. Just go ahead, be honest. Okay, cool. It's not. All right, cool. Congratulations to Zero, Kong Lee, Nicole, Essence, and Chris. Make sure you guys read the pinned message. Just shoot Dom a message on Discord. He's got everything waiting for you. And yeah, man, great night tonight. Sorry about the technical difficulties this morning. Or not this morning, this evening. Wow, this is really starting to look good. I need to get an entry ASAP. Yeah, this is looking really good. I think we'll get down here to this 21,100, which would be a very nice move from the current levels. Game plan, watch that pop 21,190, 21,200. That's short down into 21,100. If we reclaim that 21,200, that's where we can look to flip long. But long as we're below this 21,200, 21,190, I think that short looks good. I'll update you guys if anything changes in terms of me entering or anything like that. But yeah, man, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Appreciate every single one of you guys for taking time out of your Sunday to come kick it. It means a lot. I will see majority of you guys tomorrow. Bright and early. We got a big week ahead of us, even though it's a short trading week. These charts look good, right? You guys seen them just as well as I did tonight. There's a lot of opportunity on these charts, right? Specifically NQ. Just rejected that supply. We just broke that structure. This is setting up for a big move, right? Like I said, long as we're below this 21,200 on NQ, I think it's very likely we trade down to that 21,100, potentially even back down to this trend line, or even that 2,700, right? I would say this is setting up for a big move lower at the moment. Long as we're below this 21,200, I would say that rug pull risk is very high. ES, that level would be 58.70. Long as we're below that 58.70, I would say that rug pull risk is very high, down into that 58.40. Really, ES, that 5,900. Long as we're below 5,900 on ES, I think longs are going to struggle. I think shorts definitely look better long as we're below that 5,900. YM, 42,000. RTY, 2080. I think these charts look very good. But, yeah, man, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Be sure to check the pinned message for the winners. Zero, Kong Lee, Nicole, Essence, Chris. Check the pinned message. DM Dom_DA_Don on Discord. That way you guys can get your money in accounts. And yeah, man, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your night. I will see you guys bright and early in the morning, all right? Peace, everybody.